We're the Coleman family, and we're on a mission to visit as much of the U.S. as possible. I'm an Eagle Scout and grew up camping. My wife, not so much. Plus, we have a toddler and a dog with us, so we're going to share everything we learn along the way, our favorite stops, and most importantly, our mistakes. So hit subscribe, comment the places you want to see next, and let's just jump right in. While we have a free minute before we kind of get started on dinner and everything else, wanted to run through pretty perfect base setup for family car camping. Basically, you're looking for anywhere you can camp from within walking distance of your car, so you're not backpacking anything out. Some backpacking stuff will work out pretty great, like some of our sleep pads are backpacking ultralight. But all of these things, so this isn't to plug any specific product. This is mainly to run through the different points that are super important, and then you can go nicer or more budget option for each of those things. First, let's see here. One of the biggest underrated things that people don't think about, they know you need camp chairs, so they just get like the cheap $5 to $10 ones, which are fine. And you can kind of do that for a bit. They'll usually only last a season or so, if that. But if you take care of them and get nicer chairs, they're one of the better upgrades for camping. Next is your cooking setup, your kitchen. So most places you're going to want to bring a table. This place has a table, so our table became a dishwashing station over there. But yeah, you just want to go for a camp stove. Anything at the 20,000 to the 24,000 BTU is going to be perfect for what you need. I really like the Coleman Cascade Classic. It's cheaper than the Camp Chef ones, the Teton 2X or the Everest 2X. It's also 20,000 BTU. I think it is a little bit nicer, a little bit more solid. It fits all the big size pans. It works super fast, about 5 minutes for boiled water, $100. Next, some sort of camp light. This is really strong. I'll show you a clip tonight of it illuminating this whole area. But this is really great for just being able to see everything once it gets dark, and not needing to have the same light for in the tent as out here. I got this one off of TikTok. It was like $50. It's really strong. It doubles as a charging bank, and it has these rotating heads on it, so you can kind of make like a downwards facing lamp. Super nice on there. Also, really quick, I'll run through our food storage. We don't have one of the super nice coolers, the more expensive, heavier duty coolers that holds ice for longer. This one works fine for a weekend trip or an overnight. It's a little awkward in our car. We don't have a truck or anything, so our whole setup, that's another thing, this whole setup fits in a pretty compact car. So if space is an issue, I mean, you can still camp if you do it right. I'll show you. I mean, it's packed to the brim, but we made everything work. So we use this cooler. We will probably get a Yeti or something here soon when we start going to more bear country. This cooler did get messed with by a pack of coyotes on the other side of Lake Mead, out towards Boulder Beach. We had one sniffing around it and popped the lid open, but we'll do all of our frozen and stuff for the second morning on the bottom, some ice, and then all of our other food on top. Next to it, we have, this is also a cooler bag. We'll put some like ice blocks in there with all of our drinks. And then we have an insulated dry bag for all of our food. So we'll put like seasonings in there, our mountain houses, anything that doesn't need to be fridged in there. A couple water bottles, another big jug that gets cold at night, so in the morning it's good for anything else, and just extra water for cooking. Quick note on coffee. I know coffee's really big for a lot of campers, and there's a lot of different ways to do it, from kettle, pour over, French press, instant. We've tried pretty much all of them at home and camping. For just a couple people, French press is just the way to go. It is the best tasting coffee. You're boiling water either way, and it's all in a self-contained container. To me, it's the easiest, most convenient option for the best taste. So for definitely for coffee, go French press if you can. Come over here. Kind of keep a stack of firewood next to the fire. No one kind of really thinks about it. If you're not used to camping, you're probably looking at 2 to 3 bundles of wood for the evening and another 2 to 3 for the morning. So depending on how long you're there for, you're probably looking at 6 to 8 bundles of wood for a whole weekend, which a lot of people don't have room for in the car. But it's also not good to bring firewood from out of state. You can bring bugs that devastate whole forests. So buy the wood local. A lot of times after you unpack, there's a gas station or something within a 20-minute drive or something. You can go pick it up for a compact setup. If you have more room, a truck or rooftop carrier, tailgate carrier, something like that, you could bring wood in, but that's just kind of how we accommodate space. Over here we have our table set up with our 5-gallon water. We'll use this for cooking, cleaning, the dog, everything else. Dirty dishes down there, excuse the dirty dishes, but we'll kind of have trash over here, drying dishes. So it's kind of separate from camp. And if anything gets messed with, depending on the area, you need to have this locked down more, trash taken out so you don't have bears or anything else come through. But for our area, having it a little bit away from camp works. One thing I'll show you, I'll have to do a whole tent review separately, but we have 3 people, 2 adults, a toddler, and a dog. We have the North Face Wawona 4. We absolutely love this tent. It works great. So that front door zips down and makes kind of like a vestibule front door area where the dog will sleep at night. And then inside, I'll peek, sneak a little peek real quick. So in there, we have 2 adult extra wide Sea to Summit backpacking sleeping pads. They're super comfortable. They work great. And the wider version is pretty much just a must. We don't use it for backpacking, but for compact space in the car, it works great. It's lighter, and we're probably going to start transitioning into some backpacking. So I figured we'll just start kind of prepping for that, where it doesn't really hurt anything for the family car camping. Some people go more air mattress or something like that. You can do that. You can take up more space in the tent. So maybe think about a bigger tent or a taller tent. And if multiple people are sleeping on it and moving around, you kind of feel everyone's movement. So that's kind of why we decided to go more compact, but it's definitely a cheaper and sometimes more comfortable option. Tent heaters. Showed you kind of in the corner inside the tent, we have the Portable Buddy Mr. Heater tent heater. We absolutely love it. It works really, really good. Anything down into 40s, upper 30s, you can warm up a 3 to 4 season tent pretty good. We have the Portable Mini Buddy, like the screw on top of a propane cylinder, put in the tent. It works okay if you're in upper 40s, 50s, just to kind of warm it up a little bit, take the edge off. I can see it working better if you're in a blind or if you're in an RV or something like that and you're just trying to warm it up quickly for a little bit. But I would get the bigger one. A lot of times you can find sales that get it down to like 80 bucks, where it's usually 150. It's definitely worth it. The low setting is supposedly the same as the Portable Buddy, but it feels stronger even just as a base, and then it has a high setting that's twice as strong. So I would recommend doing that. As many normal blankets and house pillows that you can bring, I would do that because it's just a little bit more comfortable. And then propane, unless you're topping off and filling them routinely, just always grab a couple extras. You always have more than you need, but that's a good thing. You never know when a half empty runs out in the middle of cooking with raw food on there, or on a cold night in the middle of the night, you got to switch out a cylinder. So always get extra wood, always bring extra water, extra food. But yeah, it's a pretty basic setup. We went a little bit nicer on some things like the tent. the chairs just to be a little bit more comfortable, but it really is a base setup in terms of being self-sufficient, but also comfortable for family car camping. You can definitely blow it out of the water. You can do like an overland setup, and then there's more comfort at camp, like a speaker and different things that we can start bringing that we mainly don't just because of space. So if we were to get a rooftop carrier or a bigger vehicle, it might get easier. But for the time being, for doing a multiple night weekend trip, we're pretty much packed to the brim. Would love you guys' suggestions if there's anything that you guys use that we don't, and we'd love to test it out. And your thoughts, if you think I missed anything, if there's any helpful points that you forgot about and you got ahead of time, let me know. And would love to hear from you guys and kind of start connecting as we get ready for the 2025 camping season. It's finally warm enough and we're going to start going out a bunch. So we will see you guys next time. I'm signing off.
Bye.
See you guys next time.